Welcome to Paint the Chat Podcast. Presented by Blockade Media. Now, here are your hosts, the big swinger, Mr. Robin Vogt, and fast on the bases, Mr. Sean Michaud.
He's a big spark plug.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Painting the Chat Podcast, episode 18. Woo! Here we are, coming at you live. Sean, before I even ask how you're doing, we have breaking.
What?
The Los
Yes.
Angeles Lakers are being sold. We did not think we would see this day where the Buss family would give up the Los Angeles Lakers. However, I can read the report to you directly from Shams Charania, Mr. Shams of ESPN NBA Insider. The Buss family is entering into an agreement to sell the majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter for a franchise valuation of approximately $10 billion. That's right, with the pinky, $10 billion. Sources told ESPN, the most ever for a United States professional sports team. The Buss family will keep a minority share of the team, just over 15% for a period of time, while they do the transition as well. Sean, what does this mean, do you think, for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward? Are they preparing for the post-LeBron era? Is the Buss family saying, we're going to get our last run here with LeBron, we're going to hand it over? And it's like the Doncic trade, I think, kind of started that at the same time. But where do you think we're headed here? I think the LeBron era is officially over with the Buss family selling the team.
I honestly think I agree with you. Is it LeBron? Is LeBron even going to play next season, or is he do we see in a few months that he's retiring? Like, it doesn't seem like he's gonna though.
No, because Bronny's still there too.
Unless he's getting traded, or he's leaving.
Well,
he wants to finish off in in Cleveland, maybe.
Go back to
in Cleveland.
It's an interesting thought. It really is. I mean, again, kind of similar to the Devers trade, which, of course, we'll talk about more of the information that started coming out about why that went down, which kind of changes my mindset on it a little bit.
But we also didn't, I know going skipping, I mean, we also didn't talk about the other trade that happened in the NBA that recently happened.
Yes.
Hold on.
You want to get the exact? Yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about because it's going to be a heated conversation.
Did I retweet? Oh, here it is. Because we talked about it. I said let's finish this. Maybe we should finish.
Let's finish this. Yeah, we'll finish this thought and then we'll go on to that because it is a major part of this, alongside some of the other news that we're getting. So yes, Sean, I agree with you on that. Like, this could lead to something more with LeBron. He's been solely tied to the Buss family ever since he's been in Los Angeles. They've been essentially the people that he's leaned on the franchise to make the decisions that are best for him, for his family. Being a Los Angeles Laker, with Doncic coming to town and this new breed of Los Angeles Lakers starting to take the helm, and the Lakers not really making that far into the playoffs each year now. This logically makes sense, and I think you're right. I think that there's more to this sale than just the Busses want to move on. There's some bigger moves that are coming down the road.
I mean, they are moving on, but is that the end of the Buss buying another franchise? Like for like we said, maybe the LeBron to go. Who knows? We'll see how that. I don't know. It's weird seeing the Celtics and the Lakers getting bought by this year.
Yeah,
sold, not being bought.
Two of the most iconic basketball franchises,
rivals,
have been sold. Yeah, rivals. big time rivals when it comes to the NBA Finals and regular season. Both sold, which is crazy to think about, and knowing that both teams, I know they have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I know the Celtics are well loaded and ready to rock, but there's always a chance with the sale of a team that it could go a different direction. Obviously, the sale of the Celtics have only helped them. It's only allowed them to grow in terms of finding free agents, folks to add to their bench, their lineup, getting Brad Stevens more involved in that process. It's kind of what the Lakers need. They kind of need a new crop of franchise. What do I want to say? Insiders to come in and really say, what do we do when LeBron leaves? Like, what's our next approach? What's the next move that we make at this point? And speaking of that too, Sean, with the trade that just happened, the Orlando Magic, by the way,
I read the tweet because I have the tweet now, which was funny thing. We didn't talk about it because we had the Rafael Devers insane trade, which is probably more not devastating, but more breaking news style than this was. Shams tweeted on Shams on the 15th, which was today.
Today is the 18th, so 3 days ago. Yep.
3 days ago. So, yeah. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic for Caldwell Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 1 first-pick swap.
I want to get, because we exchanged SpongeBob memes on this one on social media.
Yeah, and so this under the tweet, which I agree with them. Actually, I forgot I actually follow him on Twitter. Gold Glove TV on Twitter says all that for Desmond Bane, and I agree. It's like, what is the Magic getting out of this?
Is that all you have to say about it? You're quiet over there. What else about
No, we're gonna go ahead.
So I'm feeling different about this trade, and that's only because the Orlando Magic are right now, they're in a win now scenario. And if I'm being blunt, they've been wanting to move. I'm just saying this sports overall. Originally they wanted to move the Florida Panthers hockey team to Orlando. That got denied. Okay. The Tampa Bay Rays have been working hard to sell the team and to move them to Orlando. For the longest time, Orlando keeps denying it. They don't want it. Okay. Orlando is in an interesting position, very similar to what St. Louis was battling with the St. Louis Rams football team. And that is where they've had success over the years. The Orlando Magic have made playoffs. They've had franchise players that have really defined the National Basketball Association. Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal and Jermaine O'Neal for years. Defining players. Tracy McGrady, another great name. But have never gotten to the finish line. And I think this Desmond Bane trade is not just because they want to add somebody to their roster like Desmond Bane, who has experience playing with guys like Paolo Banchero. During the offseason, they work out together. They play a lot of basketball together. So there's a familiar face for Paolo to come into. Franz Wagner, they need another veteran presence there to show him, hey, this negative attitude, you fouling out and getting yourself in trouble on the court, that's got to stop. And I see Desmond Bane as one of those guys that can come into this lineup alongside Wendell Carter Jr. and kind of solidify the lineup that they currently have to give at least the Celtics a challenge. Let me remind folks, the Orlando Magic continue to give the Celtics a run for their money, whether it's in a playoff series early on, or whether it's during the regular season. So they have been one or two pieces away from really giving the Celtics, like the Knicks, right? Like really giving a run for their money to the former champions here.
But why would you get rid of
because
first round picks?
This is the tie-in. If the reason why they did the jersey changes and the reason why they bring Desmond Bane in this year,
by the way, I love those
because
jersey changes.
Fantastic, love it.
Bring back the 90s.
I have a sneaky suspicion that if they don't make the playoffs this year, the city of Orlando is going to ask the Orlando Magic to move. They're going to tell them, get out of town. Because not only is their arena old, and they're going to have to ask the Orlando City Council for funds to update the arena at some point here, but the city does not seem open to the idea of bringing in sports franchises and or maintaining sports franchises right now. So I think their idea is like, hey, it's all or nothing at this point. It's all or nothing. Like they couldn't go and get a Jaren Jackson Jr. from Memphis. I am almost 100% sure at this point they probably had an offer. I think Desmond Bane was a second choice. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. was their first choice from Memphis.
Yeah, right.
And then Memphis was like, we can give you Desmond Bane instead. And they said, fine, fills out our shooting guard position. We'll give them Cole Anthony. We'll figure it out. Cole Anthony has not been fantastic either over the last couple of years. He's averaging like 12 points a game. He has not been a solid point guard. Sean, I think just to wrap up this point, I think that Orlando is at that point where they don't know what their identity is. The city is kind of on the edge of like, do we keep this franchise or not? Because there are other cities that are looking. Seattle is calling every 5 seconds to Adam Silver saying, when are you going to move a team to Seattle?
Go back to
Orlando
Vancouver.
is like the perfect scenario of moving a third market team to a primary market. So I really think that this is a last ditch effort on the Orlando Magic to stay relevant.
It just sounds like a cop out to me, honestly.
And I think to most fans it does. I just don't think we're getting the full story. And I don't think the Magic fans are getting the full story about what's going on, you know? We can say the same about a lot of other franchises. I feel for 76ers fans right now, right? Because every year they bring in like a Paul George or a Kyle Lowry or somebody else, and they still can't find success. And the reason behind that is because management mismanages and only focuses on Joel Embiid the entire time. Only focuses on Joel Embiid. When Paulo Banchero was drafted by the Orlando Magic, he was going to be the staple player. They didn't think Franz Wagner was going to be that good.
I felt like the same way with the Washington Wizards. Honestly.
That's another franchise. So this is what I'm getting at. Is like we're going to see a trade from the 76ers. We're going to see a trade from the Washington Wizards, and we're going to look at it and we're going to be like, why did they just trade all those picks? Because all of these franchises can't compete in the East with Cleveland, with Boston, with New York now, and Miami's only going to get better. I'm honestly saying that they're only going to get better through the draft this year. So it's becoming tough for those teams to compete. And I hear what you're saying, though. It does seem like a cop-out.
No, yeah, I understand your point of view. I mean, this is why we have debates. Sometimes you're wrong.
And listen, I could be wrong on this too, and I'm totally good.
I mean, I could be wrong too. I mean, you made some good points out there.
Yeah, but I hope the New Jerseys do something for him. I let's give it up. Let's give it up for the Orlando Magic. You know, come on, guys, come on, boys, let's get it together. Let's let's figure it out down there in Orlando, because I want to like the Magic. I want to like them.
Like going piggybacking with where you were coming from. I just don't think the area for the Magic is a great place to play basketball. like at first it was great, but like it's hard with Disney all around that.
Yeah, Universal now with Epic Universe and everything. Like, there are so many other things happening in Orlando now that's taking away from the sports market. You know, the Magic really came in before the Disney expansion happened and Universal even came into Orlando.
Maybe they should move to Tallahassee.
I don't know. You know, become the Florida Magic. I don't know at this point, but it's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they're the only franchise. I don't think you mentioned the Washington Wizards. That's another franchise that's just sitting there and just rotting
Portland
in the capital.
I mean, not Portland Trailblazers, but like I feel like that they make some great moves, but like they never make it far enough. And I like the Trailblazers.
Me too. I've been to Portland. I've seen Trailblazers fans. They're super passionate about basketball in Portland, Oregon. You walk through the streets, there's banners on every street corner. Like at the time, Dame Lillard was there. It was Dame Lillard banner and Anthony Simmons and all these players. They love their basketball in Portland. That's another franchise that you could say, go a couple 100 miles to the north, move the franchise to Seattle, right? It's already on the West Coast, might as well.
Yeah.
Most people in Portland, Oregon are Seattle Mariners fans, are Seattle Kraken hockey fans. So it's right there. But it's something to keep an eye on. And I think that the Genie, kind of now pairing this back to the Los Angeles Lakers conversation, I think the moving and the shifting in the NBA is starting. We're starting to see the aging superstars leave, and we're starting to see new ownership come in.
It's sad to see, but also exciting to watch these new players come up. I mean, especially seeing people, all the college kids coming.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's like recent years I've been more excited to watch college basketball than NBA.
Yeah, it's a really great point. Sean, before we get into the score updates in our usual section here on PTC Pod, I also want to bring up another basketball conversation. And maybe it'll get me in trouble. Maybe it'll get you in trouble. I don't know. We like getting in trouble sometimes. Can I just say how electric right now the freaking WNBA is?
Oh, yeah.
We've been talking about this. All you haters out there that are on Twitter, like commenting on stuff when we mention WNBA, they're like, oh, it's a women's league. It's never going to get the attention that it should. Caitlin Clark's ready to throw fucking fists.
With Sophie Cunningham and J.C. Sheldon. I watched a little bit of the game because I was going, but
boy.
But I was too busy trying to watch Paige Beckers finally win in Dallas.
Finally, I know
with Gino actually coming to the game, and seeing her.
Yeah,
unfortunately, Caitlin Chen did not play, which is so.
Fellow men out there, can I just also throw out here? Stop calling them girls. Stop that.
Women.
These are women. Yeah. No. I mean, the way Sophie Cunningham was throwing fists, I was like, no.
No, it's also the same.
That was straight up Draymond Green style, just get out of my face, and I love it.
That's exactly what I was thinking of, because I was thinking of Draymond Green the whole time. I mean,
good.
I hate the guy, but also I love him.
Yes, that's his job.
Yeah.
So we've realized now that Sophie Cunningham is Caitlin Clark's Draymond Green on the Indiana Fever.
That's so true.
She's Steph Curry and Sophie's Draymond Green.
But then who's Klay Thompson? Is Leah Boston?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of team they're building there. And I love it that our Connecticut Sun were the ones that started shit. They suck. Sorry, I'm just going to throw that out. They're not good. They're not good.
I mean, Murray maybe he's like the only good team, and Tina Charles, but everyone else.
We'll keep rooting for them. The Connecticut Sun recognize us on social media. Shout out to the Connecticut Sun. # bring the heat. We love y'all. We know you're going through a transitionary phase. The team is being sold. Speaking of teams being sold, the team is being sold. It's going elsewhere.
No, I was also going to mention the other where I can't remember the player fucking pulled Angel Reese's hair. It's like, don't do
Yeah.
that. I mean, don't do
Yeah.
that. But also, it's exciting.
I mean, they want attention in the WNBA. We've got it.
Fuck that person blowing hair because that's unnecessary.
It's so unnecessary. I've been loving it though, Sean. You've been hyping up the WNBA for a very long time, and I feel like we've hit peak now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have, but it all started because of college basketball. Watching the college teams play, it's so exciting, and it's here.
Yeah,
the W is here.
The W's here, man. Yeah, and I think it's only going to get better. I mean, you just said Juju coming up the road here. I mean,
so excited to see her and coming up, and then we have our UConn girls coming up. We got AZ,
all of them,
AZ and Sarah playing. Like they're going to be a dominated team again.
Yes, yeah, no. I was saying for the longest time too, Sean, that we're on the cusp of, like last year, I said that we're on the cusp of the WNBA doing some really special things. And with Caitlin Clark coming into the league, and now Paige Becker's coming now in the league in Dallas, the drama with the Dallas head coach, fights breaking out here between teams.
Yeah.
Listen.
It feels like the NBA. I've seen comments saying like, hey, let's bring male referees to make it better. It's like all referees gonna suck. You can't do anything about it.
Doesn't matter. So gender doesn't matter when it comes to referees at all.
No, it doesn't.
I just want to make that really clear. It does not matter whatsoever.
All referees suck. Okay, we can't do anything about it.
Yep. No. So no, it's good stuff. I saw that video, and I mean, listen, Sports Center made it like their top stuff.
It's like even on like TikTok and Instagram, the views they're getting is incredible.
Yep. And listen, I am totally fine if the idea of that was to be a little bit of a publicity stunt, just a little bit, because it's good. No, it's good. Yeah. It's what brings attention.
I'm also going to make another point, but the whole NBA Central thing on Twitter.
Oh my God!
And then I saw a clip of Sue Bird.
Reliable source, though, Sean.
Yeah, reliable source. But I saw a clip of Sue Bird talking about it. It's like, because it feels welcoming because everyone gets sentled. Like now having the WNBA's in it, it's like it's a welcoming. I like what Sue Bird said. So
we love. Listen. NBA Central is a reliable source of information.
Oh,
Sean Strania, he relies on NBA Central. It's definitely not a parody account of another account that exists on social media.
Definitely.
No, not at all. And I love that Sue Bird has recognized and been like, yeah, I just got centralized, essentially. Like I just got, and that's great. We have not been. I have shit posted on many NBA Central items, and I'm waiting. I
haven't been able to get caught by it yet. I've seen it, but I know it, but
go ahead.
But other accounts may have, because they're getting more popular. I'm like, okay, because every time I see a post, like, oh, the new Dallas Wing head coach has got fired. Oh no, but just some person tweeting it out. I was like, oh God.
I did appreciate that we did get shit posted a little bit by Keith McPherson, who runs the late night show on WFAN New York, because I was commenting about the Yankees, and I just love going in there. Paint the Chat loves going in there and just like shitting on him a little bit about it. NBA Central's the next one. The minute that happens, it's a screenshot and being like, here we go. And what we'll do is when we have the professional audio space set up, we will print each one of those out and we'll frame them, and we'll just post them right on the wall.
It'd be just like the SpongeBob dollar.
Yep. All the posts that we got mentioned by
Blackburn Fires. What's that?
NBA Central. It'll be good stuff. But yeah, It's fascinating to see this interest suddenly in the WNBA. Everything happening in the basketball world right now is just
I love that. I love that you
incredible.
brought that up. So
yeah, no, and it was important because it's only going.
If you weren't going to bring it up, I was going to bring it up anyway. So
it's just not the only time we're going to see that this season. I totally believe that, when we see Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark again.
I think Connecticut Sun and Indian View are playing again real soon. So
they're playing in Boston real soon. So
Boston? Oh yeah, Boston. Yeah. I forgot
that. Yeah, I know it's coming up real soon. All right, Sean, let's get into some score updates here, made possible by your friends here at Painting the Chat Podcast.
What I love even more is pouring over box scores.
That time to get into some of the scores happening across the league. Sean, starting in Major League Baseball. It's a pretty quiet sports night overall. I just want to put that out there. So for folks who are wondering, what to watch tonight, it's really just baseball.
Watch college baseball, man. Watch that.
Watch that. Right now, currently, the New York Mets, my New York Mets, are losing to the Atlanta Braves.
What's up with your Mets losing this past week?
I'll get into what's going on in New York. It's a valid point, and we will definitely get into that. The Philadelphia Phillies are beating the Miami Marlins in the bottom of the fifth, 4-1. The Colorado Rockies and the Washington Nationals are in a weather delay. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are tied with the New York Yankees, another New York team that's having a hard time figuring it out post Red Sox here. Mm-hmm. They are in the bottom of the third. It is 1-1. Arizona.
They finally scored something because they had like 27 innings scoreless. It's crazy.
Incredible. The Arizona Diamondbacks are currently losing to the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays, 1-0 in the bottom of the third. We'll get into some Blue Jays later because I think that you want to talk about a team that's currently in the wild card and is heading in the right direction. I don't mind that the Toronto Blue Jays are heading in that direction personally. I think it's a good thing for the franchise. Also in a rain delay, the Minnesota Twins and the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati. That game has not had a time yet. The Baltimore Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays are at 0-0 heading into the top of the second. Sean, your Boston Red Sox got a win today against the Seattle Mariners.
Here we go after that awful loss last night.
What are we just going to go back and forth the rest of the season? What is this? Back and forth. Honey, we're going back below 500. Oh, we're back above 500.
I mean, if we get a wild card spot, why not?
Why not in that way? Sean, the Pittsburgh Pirates and Detroit Tigers have also been postponed. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago White Sox have been postponed, and the Brewers and the Cubs have been postponed.
Is it raining everywhere in the United States?
It's raining everywhere in the United States. Lovely, and it's not a Saturday. How about that, huh? The Kansas City Royals take on the Texas Rangers tonight at 8:05. The Cleveland Guardians take on Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants.
He got a first RBI in Giants uniform yesterday.
Yeah, and he's been fielding out there at third base too. Yep. The Houston Astros taking on the Athletics at 10:05. And of course, another rivalry, the San Diego Padres taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight at 10:10. That division is getting more and more interesting as the days go forward. Also, Sean, just want to mention honorable mentions in terms of games. NCAA baseball, we were talking about it. Arkansas taking on LSU. That is at 0-0 in the top of the third.
Literally on right
Fantastic time for Coastal Carolina beating Louisville 11-3 today. Big win for Coastal Carolina. They are the undefeated team in the College World Series, so they are moving on to the championship game automatically based on that. In the WNBA, the Mercury are taking on the Sun this evening. They are up 48-36.
Can't tell how good Mercury is this year.
They have been incredible, the Phoenix Mercury. I don't know what's going on there. They're the only team that's good in Phoenix right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just saying that out there. And Sean, those are your sports updates. And there's one specific game that we are going to get into right now. That's right. It's time for some PTC picks. tomorrow.
Game 6.
Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. OKC leads the series 3-2. Sean, let's get into this. OKC is favored by 6.5 points, but the money line is on Indiana plus 210. The money line likes to think spoiler on this one. I'm curious to know. We'll post it tomorrow so folks know what our picks are. Who are you taking in Game 6?
I'm going to go the underdog and go to the Pacers.
Game 7.
I told you I'm riding Game 7 all along.
Yep.
I just hope Tyrese Halliburton is going to play good, even though he's hurt a little bit. Because I saw him limping off after the press conference the other day, and it did not look good. So he's expected to play. So.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle during the press conference today, for anybody that wasn't able to catch it, was very verbal about the idea that Tyrese really wants to play in this game. So they have two scenarios that they're playing out. They're playing the Tyrese does not play, who comes off the bench, who fills in for him. They're playing the card of Tyrese does play, and this is how the lineup's going to look. This is how many minutes he's going to get. And then there's this middle one that Slicky Rick over there is trying to figure out, as I like to call him. He's trying to figure out how to maybe balance Tyrese Halliburton with TJ McConnell and some of the other players so that he can still rest and get a lot of rest, but not be considered full-time on the roster starter for the evening. Do I think that's enough to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? Listen, Sean, this is going to come as a surprise to nobody because I love myself some SGA. I love Shea Alexander.
I love him too.
I just don't see Oklahoma City winning this game. I think that the momentum is.
You going underdog with me?
I'm going underdog with you. I think the momentum is going to be in Gamebridge. I think it's going to be electric. And I think Tyrese is going to feed off of that. We've seen this with players in the past. To be honest with you, I'm just going to say this. Jaylen Brown played with a worse injury than Tyrese Halliburton is currently throughout the playoffs for the Boston Celtics. So
even the end of the
case,
season, actually. Yeah.
Right. So in my mind, Tyrese is playing, and he's going to play his ass off, and he's going to do everything he can. But that means distributing the ball. That means that Nembhard needs to get back in the game. That means that Miles Turner needs to have a big game.
He's got to be a playmaker. Yeah.
He's got to distribute the ball. He's got to find those open shots. He's got to, get the ball to the players that are going to be able to make it happen for him. This is a big game for Obi Toppin. This is where Obi Toppin can really make his name well known across the NBA. In New York, it was falling apart. They got rid of him. He went to Washington for a little bit, became a free agent. Indiana scooped him right up, and they said, we're going to do something with Obi Toppin and make him a superstar again. He has a chance here to play off of Tyrese down in the paint and really make a name for himself. I mean, you watch an Obi Toppin dunk from the free throw line. My goodness, he can really drive the ball.
Yes.
This is a game for him to shine. I think he will. I think that the Indiana's got this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think SGA is going to play well.
Neither do I.
No. Maybe Game 7 he will. But who knows?
It's good for the NBA to have this go Game 7. Let me just say that. I'm not saying that it's rigged. So don't even, folks out there, don't even try that on me.
I think the refs are going to make it to go with Game 7. I'm not saying it's rigged, but but also I'm saying it is.
There's going to be some calls that you're going to look at and you're going to be like, ooh, that came kind of late in the fourth quarter there.
I think the NBA wants a Game 7, and that's what I think they're hoping.
We're not saying it's rigged, but they want it.
But the Indiana has to be the playmaking of the team to actually score, drain those threes, and play defense, especially with this Oklahoma City Thunder team.
We talked about it in episode 17 too. For Oklahoma City to be successful in this game, remember we went through the stat line and we said who had the last time this was at Gainbridge, the last I believe it was what, game 3 or 4? 4, I think you're right. Hartenstein was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Caruso had a decent game, but then he fell off. Caruso, like we said, is the TJ McConnell of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The bench of OKC needs to go off. It can't be just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams.
No.
If Jalen Williams doesn't perform tomorrow night, it's not happening. And I think
Right.
the Pacers are going to go after him pretty quick. I would imagine they're going to want to try to foul him out by the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. But we'll wait and see on that.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see on that. Anyway. You got something to say over there, Sean?
No, I was just trying to. I can't remember which game. I was just looking which game.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
specifically, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, it was not this game 3 that was specifically that the Pacers need to not repeat it, but do a little bit better because game 3 was they were up by 9 points. That was the final.
Right. Right.
And I think that's what the Pacers need to do, but play a little bit better. And like I said, I think Oklahoma City to win this, to take it home for the championship is
right.
I think the bench needs to go off.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bench and SGA. But we'll see.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it all comes down to tomorrow night, of course. The trophy is going to be in the building. And I think that that's going to be a motivation to Indiana as well.
Yeah.
It's like
I saw on Twitter they already had hats for Game 7, so they're getting ready for it. So
oh, what do you mean they already had hats for Game 7?
yeah.
What are you insinuating something, Sean Michaud?
Maybe.
Whoa, hold on a second here. Are you telling me the NBA is rigged? Oh, Sean, you can't show that stuff on
Sorry.
the live stream.
Oh, it's NBA Central. No, kidding. It's not NBA Central. It's NBA. No, it's NBA Central. Oh, I can show whatever I want on the stream. We're not getting paid. We're not getting paid for this.
Whoa! I want you to be careful when you say that.
Sorry,
I can show whatever I want on this.
This is gonna get clipped.
That's good. That's a great clip. I love that one. I can show whatever I want on this stream. I don't know about that.
Not
You can show it to NBA Central if you want. Just saying. Just put that out there.
Yeah.
Only if he's interested.
Oh my God.
Game 7 hats, you're telling me.
I mean,
What-
they do.
why-
They do that all for like the World Series.
Yeah, and then they send
shirts.
them to third world countries. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's just, I feel really bad for the countries that end up with New York Yankees World Series champions 2015 or whatever.
Well,
I feel really bad for.
Actually, if I would actually love to get all the hats and all the stuff that didn't win. Wouldn't that be a great collection to have?
I would think that it'd be worth something, right? Like in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
We continue to give it away, which I understand. Hey, give it to places that need apparel. Give it to places that need that kind of assistance. I get it. But at the same time,
it's funny to me.
Collector's world. Yeah, it is. It's funny. Yeah. It's like it's a collector's world. Having a Game 7 snapback when it may not go to a Game 7 is hilarious and incredibly awesome.
Well, it doesn't say the champions stuff yet. So
just as Game 7.
That's probably not made yet, or it isn't shown. Kind of like how the Boston Celtics hat was ready.
Oh, they already had those made. They knew it.
No, like weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And if that they didn't win, it would be
somebody in a warehouse snuck one of those and was like, these are like $45. I'm just gonna sneak one of these. Yeah, I mean, there's a New York Knicks NBA champions hat somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think about that. Actually, there's probably also a Boston Red Sox 2025 World Series champions hat somewhere too.
2020. Yeah, it's literally every team on there.
Just every single logo of every team, and then 2025 champions. You're just punting on the season, essentially.
Right?
It's just a participation trophy. That's all that that's the NBA Finals trophy and the MLB trophy. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just a participation trophy.
Just like the
Anyway.
World Series trophy.
Speaking of the right on the money. Speaking of the World Series trophy, Sean, we got more news this week around the Rafael Devers trade specifically. And Craig Breslow's answer, I tuned in a little bit to the Zoom call that he had with upper management of the Boston Red Sox, and was just kind of taking notes and listening into how he was talking about the Rafael Devers situation. And listen, I can say right off the bat, and I'll get your perspective on this and your thoughts, of course, as the resident Red Sox fan here. But based on what he said, I can understand the business aspect of it, right? That's $350 million, and he was throwing a fit. So why hold on to him and all of that money if there's a chance to trade him, get a team to pay the rest of that off, and then you get that money back in order at the trade deadline to get pieces? I get that. 100%, right? I think it's going to get down to this whole situation, what you had outlined. There's no one side to take in this. They're both at fault here.
What I said on the breaking news segment that we had on Sunday, I said I was pointing fingers at both of them.
Yeah.
Rafael was making comments, but also, I mean, I get where Rafi's coming from. He wanted to play third, but also, I mean, he doesn't just want to be DH. Like, I heard that he wanted also to like play first, like switch back, but like,
yeah,
but he didn't want to go back and forth. Like he wanted to be just first, but like Greg Braggs was like, no, that's not gonna happen or whatever. And then coming out of it, it's like Giants like, hey, you can play wherever, and Rafi was like, okay, but I don't know. It's a weird situation. For both. I'm sad he's gone, but at least it's not the Yankees.
Yeah,
and I like the Giants, so Rafi, good luck in the Giants. Maybe you'll get a World Series this year.
Yeah,
with that team, Buster Posey did a great job getting him. So
they fleeced the Red Sox. They really did. I don't think that's the other side of this too. Is like, I understand where Devers is coming from too. Like Bregman just walked in and they basically said, Alex, you're running the show. You're the captain of this team now. You're the one who's going to tell us what to do, which is highly inappropriate knowing that Devers has been on the team since 2018, since their last championship. Like he should be the one that's going up to Breslow and Cora and saying, ain't happening. And they should respect that. And they should respect
of course, yeah. And I also get because David Ortiz was trying to reach out to Rafi.
That's the other thing.
And then he didn't get responded, which is kind of
horrible.
Like, come on. I know he was David Ortiz was trying to help. I think that's what he was coming from. Is the new because David Ortiz didn't play under Craig Breslow. He played with him, but not under him.
That's right. When Breslow was a reliever for the Red Sox. Yep, that's right. It's a complicated situation. And the one thing I think we have to look at it now, Devers is on the San Francisco Giants. He's going to do really well there with Wilmer Flores and Yastrzemski, and Willie Adames is super pumped. And now they're going to bring Matt Chapman back. He's going to come out of injury. So you're going to have Devers maybe over at first and Chapman at third and Adames at shortstop. And then Wilmer's going to come in and DH.
That lineup is dangerous.
Super dangerous, especially with an unhealthy Los Angeles Dodgers team.
I didn't say right now. If they're in the playoffs right now, I think they're beating LA.
Yeah,
and I know Otani's pitched like one and a half innings. I was like, okay. I saw someone complaining complaining that ESPN, I think it was ESPN or whatever, was showing Shohei Ohtani warming up while the other game was going on. I'm like, do we really need that? Yes, we know he's coming back. Just
I sometimes feel like the Ohtani hype takes away from the rest of baseball.
I love
all the
Ohtani.
amazing
I
things.
love Ohtani.
Me too.
But nothing to do with Ohtani. They're just the whole MLB ESPN works. I'm not saying I love MLB Network more. Way.
No, I'm right there with you. They do it the right way. And now the Red Sox are faced with a situation where they have $298 million after tax with this trade deadline to go and get some pieces. And Sean, one of the things I wanted to talk about here were some of the teams that we feel need to make moves at the trade deadline in order to be successful. I don't know if you have your top five, if you've been thinking about like who.
I've been thinking about here and there. I have a few.
Great. Yeah. So we'll just kind of bounce back and forth and we'll just kind of throw some teams out there and kind of figure out, what kind of players they should go get and whatever else. And I'll start just to kind of get us going. I just mentioned them, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
They are at the trade deadline. They are currently, and I want to double check in terms of the standings here because I know that they're
that's what I'm looking at right
basis.
now, the standings for these teams because
I want to make sure I get it correct, especially when it comes to the wild card. So in the East right now, Toronto is up 2 on Boston. As of right now, every single AL East team is in the playoffs as of right now.
Yes.
Toronto is 39-33. They're 23-13 at home and 16-20 on the road. Okay. If Toronto, why I'm putting them probably at my number 5 in terms of teams that need to make moves at the trade deadline, they are 2 pitchers away, which means calling up somebody from AAA Buffalo and then going and getting a pitcher away from actually challenging the Yankees for the division and getting that top wild card spot. Like either or, making that rotational change. Tampa's really good. They're 40-33, which I never thought I would say. But Toronto, as of right now, holds the series best. They've beaten Tampa Bay twice and have beat them. They're in both series so far. So if push comes to shove for that last wild card spot and it's Tampa and Toronto, as of right now has the upper edge in that. They're 2 pitchers away from challenging for the division at this time. But Boston's right behind them too.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think we were going to go in order, but
that's fine. It's fine. No, we don't have to.
No. The one I was thinking, because I was thinking about earlier, the first thing I was thinking about was literally because we talked about them earlier, the Seattle Mariners. They're right now, they're 37, and I think they're 36. They're just a little bit above 500. But what they need to go out and get they need some hitters, man. I mean, they showed it yesterday. They get hit, but like but I think they should trade with the Angels. I think the Angels could go. I mean, if they imagine, I'm going to go with Mike Trout. Maybe they'll pick up Mike Trout. I don't think that's going to happen, but like maybe someone over there with the Angels or
Tyler Ward over in left field has been absolutely incredible for them this year. He's batting over 300. He's been. Yeah, I could see where you're going. It's like the Angels are out of this, and they would trade with somebody in their division on that. Boy, Mike Trout in Seattle would be.
I could see Mike Trout in a Seattle uniform, honestly.
Yeah.
You know how much that would help the Mariners though for a championship.
They need it. They need it right now.
They always have good pitching, but they always been struggling with hitting.
Yeah, because I mean Houston. This is the thing. Houston is, I know they're 42-31, like they're 11 games above 500. They're not as impressive. They're just not an impressive team. I mean, you look at what Seattle's been able to do this year, and now the Texas Rangers are slowly starting to figure it out with Wyatt Langford and Marcus Simeon and Seager and the rest of the boys there, they're starting to get it going now. I think as of right now, they're on a 1-game losing streak, but they're 7-3 in their last 10. Seattle's 5-5. They're an even split. They've got to be able to hit that. So I like the Seattle choice there. I think that they're on the brink of doing amazing things. The Randy Arozarena trade to get him was good.
They're only 5 games back from their Astros, but if they can make something happen, like with the trade deadline coming up, they can easily help them get up to maybe clinch that first place spot in their division. If the Astros don't play well, but the Mariners need to play better.
I agree with that 100%. Sean, one of the other teams I have my eye on here, and a team that continues to we set such high expectations every single year. And then it just seems like they fall flat on their faces, or they make a wild card and they make it in, and it's like, oh, cool, they're there. San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
They just, with Xander and Manny Machado, they got Jackson Merrill out there in left field. He's doing some good stuff. Their pitching is pretty good. Blake Snell, the entire crew there, figuring it out. Yeah, you know what? They're middle of the road right now. They're kind of middle of the road. They're 39-33. I get that they're playing above 500 ball, 542. But they've got San Francisco and the Dodgers right up above them. And in the wild card, I mean, if you take a look and see where they are there, they're solely in a wild card spot, but Milwaukee, St. Louis, Cincinnati, rearing up the side with 1.5 games behind. So the person that I think would fit best in not in Seattle. Maybe he would fit good in Seattle. The Baltimore Orioles are at the point of just selling whoever they got. Yeah. I think unfortunately they hit a good spot with Jackson Holiday. They thought that they were going somewhere. Listen, San Diego needs to make some serious moves. Jake Cronenworth is not the answer at first base. He's getting older. I could see them going to Baltimore and making a big trade. I could see Cedric Mullins and Ryan O'Hearn going to Seattle. Or, again, Seattle. Yes.
Seattle's on your mind.
Please. Actually, go to Seattle. That'd be a great spot for you. No. Go to San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego, Cedric Mullins in the outfield, Ryan O'Hearn at first. He's playing so good in Baltimore. They just suck. They're just a bad team. And there's 2 really good players there. Go make a big blockbuster trade. I would not be surprised if, Baltimore in return, they're like, yeah, fine. Give us prospects. Give us pure prospects and draft picks for Cedric Mullins and Ryan O'Hearn. That is totally fine. That makes the West, I will say, the most competitive and the most fun to watch if Cedric Mullins and Ryan O'Hearn go to San Diego. Yeah. 100%.
Agree.
100%.
Yeah, funny thing was my other team was also in one of the 3 teams you was saying, and I was gonna say St. Louis Cardinals need to do something.
That's a good one. I don't have them. That's good. They're close. They're close to getting a wild card spot.
They're all close. I'm not too familiar with the Cardinals, but like every time they get in, they haven't been in the postseason in such a long time. Like Brewers have, of course. And what was the other team? And of course, I think the Reds the
Reds are close.
I think the Reds and the Cardinals need to do something. They need to trade something. That would be very interesting. Just not to see what happens, but as a fan, yes, to see what happens if they trade someone. They're both great teams right now. I mean, not great teams. They're in the wild card position.
Yes,
but they're above 500.
Yes,
but I think the Reds need some pitching. But also, I think the Cardinals need some hitting. I don't know. They got to trade someone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You look
like,
at the
like to catch up with the Cubs, which like
That's a tall order
they're
right now.
all essentially 7 games back, which is not a lot, but I mean right now. Does not have a win streak on this thing because I was going to look up the Cubs win streak.
While you're looking that up, another team in that division that I want to cue in on just quickly while you're talking about that is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Do you think Paul Skeens is a major part of either a St. Louis,
I
a
was
Chicago
thinking,
trade, or
I was thinking the exact same thing, but
Yeah.
also I didn't want to say it because I like Paul Skeens in a Pirates uniform, and he's great with it.
Right.
But, like, the Pirates suck. Okay,
they're just like Baltimore. They're just like Baltimore. It's like they have Brian Reynolds. I could see Brian Reynolds in Seattle. He'd be really sorry, again.
What?
Yes, Brian Reynolds, go to Seattle. No,
Is
Brian
everyone going
Reynolds
to Seattle?
Everybody, just go to Seattle. Just go.
You go to
goddamn
Seattle.
plane.
You go to Seattle.
You go to Seattle. You go to Seattle. No, Brian Reynolds on the St. Louis Cardinals. I could see him out in St. Louis. He'd be really good. I could see him in Cincinnati too. But if Paul Skeens was to move in that division specifically, whether Paul Skeens going to the Chicago Cubs, they're challenging.
Okay,
They're challenging in the West then. But
I was looking. Chicago Cubs have won the last 6 games out of 10. They're a 3-game streak, and then Cincinnati's they've been doing really well recently. Last 8 out of 10. They're on a 3-game win streak. I mean,
Ellie De La Cruz has been incredible.
I love Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, in that division, needs to do something to catch up with Chicago. But also, like, try to get in the wild card because you have fucking Philly, of course, and then you have San Francisco in there, and you have the little bit of the Padres, which
the West is loaded, man.
Yeah, that Central team is just like it's hard. That Central League,
it's a hard division.
It's a hard division to like keep because it's always a mystery between those like the 3, and then you have whoever's in the last, and then of course Cubs. But
that's the one guy I thought if the Cubs were to make a move that would close out the division, and you're talking about Cincinnati and Seattle not having a chance, Paul Skeens would definitely be that on the pitching end. I would say on the batting end.
Yeah, him with Sonny Gray, that's a dangerous lineup.
It's a real dangerous lineup. The other one that was thrown around recently on a couple of other shows that I listened to, and I hadn't even thought about it, was what if we saw Christian Yelich in Milwaukee part ways and Yelich went to the Cubs and you have Kyle Tucker and Yelich out in that outfield?
I feel like we're gonna get a
Reese Hoskins at first too. Reese Hoskins is gonna be available too.
We're not gonna get a giant trade like Devers, but we're gonna get something similar, very close and very soon.
We're gonna have a lot of like small, like I think it's gonna be multi-team trades. I think you could see like Seattle pair up with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in a trade.
I mean, it still will shock me that if we see news that Mike Trout was traded to Seattle or somewhere
at this point.
Because
at this point,
does he want to be an Angel his whole career? Or does he want to get
Sox? Yeah, the Red Sox moved $285 million off of him to move him. Trout has less than that. He has $115 million left.
Honestly, the Red Sox.
So what does that mean?
The Red Sox to go get Mike Trout. Honestly,
they have the money to go get Mike. They could. They could do it. The Mets could go and do it. We've got hundreds of millions sitting in there in reserve.
Yeah.
So I think because the salary cap is going to change next year, and because most likely in 2027 we're going to have a players lockout with the owners because the negotiating contracts end then with the union, with the MLB Players Association. Yeah. So Everybody's going to want to get their money and get somewhere before 2027, a place that they're going to stay for a long time.
Yeah.
So for somebody like Mike Trout, it's not necessarily someplace he wants to go and stay for a long time. It's where can I go that's going to pay me so that when I retire in 2026 or the beginning of 2027 before the lockout, I get my money.
Yeah, right.
And if he's stuck in LA with the Angels during the lockout, he's not going to be a happy camper.
No.
He wants to win a World Series before 2027 and then say, I'm done. I don't want to see the Yankees. I'm sick and tired of fucking Yankees fans online saying, we're going to get Paul Skeens. We're going to get Mike Trout. We're going to go and get all these
Mike
guys.
Trout in Yankee uniform. Mike Trout in Yankee uniform is just wrong. I'm sorry.
Just shut up.
No.
Stop it. You guys are in the top of your division.
Yeah.
The Red Sox are still figuring it out.
Deal with Aaron Boone. Deal with Aaron Boone and his shenanigans.
You can't beat the Tampa Bay Rays. Figure it out.
Can't even beat us. We shut them out.
I'm just Keith McPherson's probably going to go after me on WFAN for saying this, and that's fine. The Yankees need to stop with this. We need to add more pieces. This is not the Steinbrenner era anymore. You got the grandson and everybody else running that franchise.
You got it. The Yankees are locked in. They're going to make the playoffs no matter what right now.
Yes.
I mean, yes, you can go trade someone small or get some little pieces. That's fine. But you don't need someone
I feel
huge.
better about somebody going to the Dodgers than I do the Yankees. And that's saying a lot.
That I don't agree with you. I'm sorry. The Dodgers
at this point, I just hate the pinstripes, all right? That's I don't want to see my pinstripes.
I do too, but like then again,
the Dodgers did. That's fine, but yeah. I don't want to see Mike Trout go to the Dodgers and also Rhys Hoskins goes to the Dodgers. Like that would be the worst freaking combination in the entire world.
No,
because whiny baby Freddie Freeman can just stop it.
I love Freddie Freeman, but he needs to get stop winning.
It's because he was an Atlanta Brave. That's the only reason why I say that.
Oh, okay.
Freaking Bryce. Does Bryce Harper stay in Philadelphia? Does he go back to the Nationals and end his career?
No, keep away from the Nationals. I'm actually liking the Nationals. What they need to do? They need to do something.
Yeah, talk about a team. I mean, falling. What's going on? Well, I'm not going to go there.
What's wrong?
What's going on in DC right now? between their sports franchises and other things, it's pretty rough down there.
We're only talking about sports here.
There's only. I mean, listen. The parade that DC folks got was not a championship parade. I'll tell you that much. That was not the parade they wanted in Washington, D.C. They wanted a Wizards parade. They wanted a Nationals parade.
Well, that's not happening in October.
No.
I mean, that's not actually happening today either. I mean, this week probably.
No. Anyway, didn't mean to get that political about it, but
no.
It was right there.
You had to open your big mouth.
There go 1 million possible subscribers right there. That's fine. I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I think we've hit that time.
Yeah. We can't go another hour here.
No, we could, but we're not going to.
We could. Well, you got to wait for the next episode for whatever.
That's right.
We're going to get something breaking news again, but
we're totally going to be back on here at some point about some breaking news in baseball. You know, I think the Devers trade. Final thoughts here. We'll share those. I think the Devers trade just opened the floodgates to pre-All-Star game trades, like the idea of moving players before the All-Star break and getting that money figured out. You know, before the MLB draft, before more money is spent on other things. That's my final thought on that.
I was just looking into it to see if there's any breaking news. Nothing. I saw Blackburn. I thought it was talking about Charlie Blackman, but my mind was like, what? No, but it's just again, it's with politics. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Okay.
John, final thoughts? Anything you want to keep our eyes on here?
Let's hope for a better week for the Red Sox to keep on winning. Devers passed it now. We got to push it. Hope we do something. That's all I have. So.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we've hit that time of the show here at the Painting the Chat podcast. It's a little thing we like to call
Plug time.
Plug time here. Woo. Mr. Sean Michaud, where can the good people find you across social media?
You guys can follow me here on Twitter, Sean Michaud and on Instagram at It's Lindsay.
Same thing over here. You guys can follow me. Not the same handle. We're not twins in that way. You guys can follow me here over on Twitter as well at X_Robin W Vogt, over on Instagram at IG_Robin W Vogt. Please make sure to follow Painting the Chat podcast here on X Twitter at Paint the Chat Pod, over on Instagram at Paint the Chat Pod. So many great clips and content is being put out. There's gonna be some great clips from this one tonight, I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
especially there's gonna be some real good ones here.
Yeah.
And make sure to keep locked. We're gonna have our PTC picks. If you did miss them earlier, you'll see our picks for tomorrow night there. And of course, if more breaking news comes in, keep it locked. Make sure to smash that subscribe button here on YouTube, hit that like button, and turn on notifications when that breaking news comes in. Sean and I are here to break it down for you and to let you know what's good in the world of sports. For Mr. Sean Michaud over there, my lovely, lovely co-host.
I'm Mr. Robin Vogt.
That's right. We will see you on episode 19 of Painting the Chat podcast. Until then, folks, enjoy your evening. Love some sports. Love thy neighbors. And we'll see you soon.
Have a good night.
See ya.